Welcome to this episode of The Wandering Crow. This is Mandy.
This is Abby.
This is Cameron.
This is JT.
Cameron took his two buddies on an expedition to the Superstitions.
Listeners, if you didn't listen to our spiritual protections episode, people who aren't familiar with paranormal phenomenon or aren't spiritually protecting themselves, they may come in to a situation wound up with anxiety, fear, energy that can feed entities.
Because Cameron is kind of like an instigator for crazy to happen, he thought this would be fun to use them as bait, I think were your exact words.
Yes.
Yes.
Classic.
So we're here, Brent and Chris are here to share their story.
There is a medicine story that tells of Crow's fascination with her own shadow. She kept looking at it, pecking at it until her shadow woke up and became alive. Then Crow Shadow ate her. Crow is dead Crow now. Join us as we attempt to look through the wandering crow's eye to find the gateway to the supernatural, to seek to know the unknowable mysteries of creation. Welcome to the Wandering Crow podcast.
My name is Christopher Ellis with Killer Bakery, and I'm here to tell you about my encounter in the Superstition Mountains.
And I am Brent, and I'm here to retell my story of what happened on the Superstition Mountains.
Brent came, and he had his younger daughter with him.
Indeed.
She's actually listening in with me, so...
Hey guys! I'm Melissa, but I prefer to go by Elle. I have a few stories to tell.
I invited them. I came up with the idea because it's a very mysterious place. A lot of people go missing. And because weird things happen to people when I bring them places. So I wanted to use them as bait.
This is all a Draven thing, by the way. This is like all on him.
My nickname, Draven.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Chris is spiritually inclined, so he might have been okay.
Alright, well, my wife is a witch. I carry talismans with me every day. I tend to charge talismans on my own at my house. I am a believer in the paranormal or supernatural. And I am kind of a shaman in my own right.
I'm more of a skeptic. I always have been, but I've always been fascinated with the paranormal, so...
When I was a really young kid, I have seen a face, old man's face, staring at me at 3 a.m. And that made me to believe that there was ghosts. And I have went to the Queen Mary before, and I don't know if it was me just tripping, but when we went down to the engine room, I walked through a door and it felt off, and it turns out that someone had died down there. And my friends had been told seeing faces down there as well. And I feel like there's things there, and I'm a huge believer in them, and I hope to become a ghost hunter at some point.
So that really only makes her better bait.
Wow, thank you so much.
Thanks, buddy.
Such a good friend, using my daughter as bait, you know.
Yep. What a good guy.
Hey.
I was just hoping to hang out with my friend and go hiking.
I mean, I think that's what we were all really just expecting, was we were just going to hang out and do a hike where the sun didn't kill us.
I was just expecting to hang out, too. I mean, it had been a while since the three of us had all gotten together and done something, so I was excited for that. Didn't really expect much.
I was hoping to get my dad to believe in spirits.
See, at least somebody else was on board.
Oh yeah, of course. No, I've always wanted to do something like this. So.
We drive up, and the very first thing he points out to me is like, "Hey, check it out. There's a raven sitting up there on that electric pole." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's a good thing I have my talismans on me all the time, isn't it? And my gun."
We went on the shorter trail, the hieroglyph trail. That was the shortest one that kind of just goes right up to the mountain base, and then we turned around and came back. It was about 3 hours.
Yeah, something like that.
We were kind of pressed on time.
Well, maybe we should start with us first heading down the trail, and the guy coming off the trail and his wonderful greeting of
Enjoy the full moon.
literally that's all he said to us, and then kept walking.
I tried to tell you guys that was kind of weird, but hey.
Well, he's.
It was like ominous.
I mean, it was ominous, but he was a friendly older man that was wearing khaki shorts. He had one of those like hiker hats on and a backpack and one of those like skiing sticks that you use for hiking.
So here's my thing. It was the timing of everything. Normal people don't go hiking in the middle of the night. And I know it's like coming off the trail and everything, but it's just as we were coming on the trail and everything. And it was just a weird timing thing. And it's weird to go hiking by yourself. You really shouldn't be out alone in the middle of the desert. It's not safe. It's not safe. So all that stuff to me was a little off. Nobody else seemed to think so. I was just kind of like, okay, whatever, and he was gone.
We all had equipment, so we had EMF readers, we had a spirit box, Cameron brought thermal cameras, all sorts of fun stuff. So we were messing with that, going up the trail, just kind of joking. Moon's rising up, getting brighter. It's starting to cool down at this point. Yeah, there was a storm off in the distance, so we had lightning on top of it. We were kind of just enjoying it, good vibes. And then once the thermal camera came out, we started picking up some, I wouldn't necessarily say cold spots, but they were definitely cooler. Everything around us around what, like it was 90 degrees, and then we're finding the cooler spots in the 70s.
Yeah.
Chris got something on me.
Yeah.
Wasn't one like 60?
Yeah, one of the first things I pointed at, it was right after the sun had gone down. Everything around it was still in the 90s. And then right around this rock, it was like 60.
That day it was like 109 degrees out. For context, we were looking at literally like 98, 97 degrees temperature outside. So finding a 70 or a 60 degree pocket is really cold.
It could have been a coincidence, but when I was using the radio thing, when I was shuffling through like the channels, there was a lot about God, and there's also creepy music as well, like ominous music,
Spirit box?
like shaky music. Yeah,
Yeah.
the spirit box.
The spirit box uses radio channels to like shuffle through and pick up word by word. And so it was going through and it was finding different things that were talking about like gospel and God. And then at one point there was one about an alien.
Hallelujah. The truth will set you free. Praise Jesus.
There was, what was the other one?
The ominous music. It's like felt like it was
Yeah, it
like
was
chasing
like,
scene.
yeah. From that point, we just kept heading down the trail.
As you go down the trail, it starts off as more of like a dirt trail.
There really wasn't much. A few owls, which was cool. A lot of joking and messing around and very lighthearted up until we got to towards the end of the trail.
As you get to the base of the mountain, it just turns basically into boulders and rocks. It was, a little more uphill and steeper. Honestly, it gets pretty hard to walk on, especially at night. It was definitely more difficult.
When we were going up, I felt like something was like off.
When we decided to rest for a minute.
Yeah, right around where we saw our first hieroglyph.
Yeah.
And we decided to sort of have a seat on a big boulder that was at the base of the mountain right past that. I started to feel like maybe something was out there, but we were at the hieroglyphs. We had big boulders behind us, nice little vantage point of the landscape in front of us. So it felt like we were in a pretty good spot. So I felt pretty safe when we were actually sat down. I don't know. Did you guys feel anything when we were there?
No, I would say, honestly, not when we got to the top, but probably like just when it started to get rocky. So probably right at the foot. And I don't think it ever left at that point until we basically got back. I pretty much felt something hunting us that whole time.
I think it's also significant that at that point you're basically on the mountain, and that I think is
Yeah,
significant
you are.
based on some of the older stories.
We were sat up at the mountain for probably about 5-10 minutes. We were just sitting there, sort of collecting ourselves and relaxing before we had to go back down. With the headlamps on, all I could see was wherever the headlamps were pointed. So it was very limited visibility as far as, I think, all of us. A couple of times we turned our lights off to sort of take a look around, because I think the human eye can see better without that extra light. But it wasn't long after that we decided not to complete the trail, because it sort of felt like we needed to turn around.
That's when we started heading down.
Yeah.
And that's when we started hearing everything.
Yeah, that would be when we started hearing everything, really, is on our return trip.
Yeah, like something was following us.
Brent was kind of on edge. I don't know that he really heard anything at first. Chris, I think, heard it first. Like, I kind of thought it was just dogs in the background. Chris, what did you hear?
So it wasn't like dogs, and honestly, at first I thought like it was a big cat or something. So at first I was just kind of like, all right, guys, like just hold up. I actually pulled out my pistol and got ready. I was like, just in case, let me look around real quick and let me just make sure. Kind of just kept some space, and we started moving on. I kind of just was moving real slow, and I kept hearing like something just kind of moving with us. And then after a while, I didn't even hear anything anymore. I just kept feeling something moving with us. It was just nuts. I don't know. It was crazy.
Chris was in the very back at that point, so it makes sense that he heard it first. I heard it shortly after, and I swear I heard like dogs yipping in the background. At one point I said, I don't even think that's a coyote. It sounds more like a wolf type of thing. But shortly after that, it sounded like a woman crying. And we were going probably about 10 minutes down when Brent turned around. He's like, okay, I heard that one too.
Yeah, I heard the crying in the background. My first thought was the same as Chris's. Oh, it must be maybe it's a big cat, but I've been a hunter most of my life, and you're not going to hear a cat until it's right up on you, and it felt a little off coming in closer. And I've been stalked by mountain lions before hunting, and this definitely wasn't that.
And I was feeling the same thing too, Brett, by the way. Toward the end, I was like, yeah, this definitely doesn't feel like a cat. It's really odd. Like Brent, I've had big cats hunt me before. Like, something's definitely on me, I've had dogs on me too, but it's different because dogs hunt differently because they're pack animals. They surround you and whatnot. Cats are way different. You'll never, like he said, you'll never actually know when a cat's gonna be on top of you until it's on top of you. It's totally different.
With most wildlife in Arizona, they might get close and get curious, but then they'll break off, especially if you're in a large group like that and making noise, which we were, and it kept following us. And that, I've never had anything do that before. Thinking about it even now, it's got my heart rate going back up.
But Elle, when did you hear the noises? Or did you hear the noises?
I slightly did, but it was more like I felt something there. And you guys just kept saying that you were hearing things. I didn't really hear as much. I just felt it, if that makes sense. It felt really uncomfortable.
I felt like something was hunting me. That was the way I was feeling. I felt something on me.
I felt like I was being watched, and I was also like, it just felt so uncomfortable. I couldn't breathe, and I was shaking. It could have been like my husband that was making me not breathe, but it was just like it got worse when I felt like that pair of eyes or something watching me.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely felt some nerves because I heard the similar sobbing noises that Cameron was talking about. Like I said before, my first thought was maybe it's a big cat following us. I heard that. I'm like, that doesn't sound like anything I've ever heard out in the wild before. And it really threw me off and it got my heart rate going. And yeah, got us to hustle down the trail too. We went
Oh
back
yeah.
down probably 3 times as fast as it took us to go up.
It was about an hour and a half to get up there. It took us about like 30, 40 minutes to get down.
We were very quiet and everything. We were just so focused on getting down.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. We made jokes about how, oh, thank goodness we made it past the fence. We're now saved. Nothing can get past the fence. But
It was around the fence when we felt like it just stopped following, wasn't it?
it did, though. Yeah.
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 When we finally got up there, I pulled out this like little thing. It was like a recorder, and I played it, and we hear nothing. So I didn't use it for the rest of the trail, but I wish I did because there was a voice that was heard on the recording in the very beginning. And me and my dad thought it was like saying help or saying my name. But I put it into my PC. I slowed it down and I turned my volume all the way up and it's yelling Cameron. It says Cameron's name, and I slowed it down and I listened to it multiple times, and I would hear it yelling Cameron.
Disclaimer, I did find it on the video, and that was in correlation to something that was on the spirit box. So if it said my name, it was still from the spirit box.
A male, a female, could you...
It was more like a male kind of voice. And in the recording, you can hear when Cameron messes with the spirit box or whatever, like the radio, and it sounds different from the scream, in my opinion. It sounds completely different. Because, like, you can hear the more radio sound when he starts playing with it, but the scream sounds more like an actual, like, voice is there, in my opinion. That was pretty much it, because I listened to the rest of it, and it was nothing else. It was just that one part in the beginning.
I'd also like to point out the reason why they're my friends. They were terrified, and they never wanted to go back, and then they found out it was saying my name, and then they're like, okay, we can spend the night.
Now you're the bait.
Oh, he's the target. Yeah.
Oh, great. That's fine then.
Guys, even if it was saying my name, I'd still go back.
That's my girl.
Well, I think that the spirits were warning you of Cameron.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a very good possibility.
Like, Cameron, he's coming after you!
It's a trap.
They probably knew you were using us for bait, asshole.
Oh, they definitely did. They have psychic presence. They knew. I need to trick them into doing some more taboo things. Next time, if we're still doing it, though, was it the gold mine that we were thinking about doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. We should do that one if we, yeah.
And that one will be overnight because we had to turn around. It was right around 10 o'clock where we started to actually hear the thing following us out of there. So we have to give it a little bit more time to have the bait actually kick in.
Cameron's face. Oh my god.
Oh, man.
You have disclaimed that you went out there with a bunch of paranormal investigative equipment, or at least cool equipment that has crossover use for paranormal investigation, and yet we only have the one EVP. What happened with everything? Do you have any interesting video?
No. The best section of it is totally not usable because I had the phone sitting on my water jug and there is no usable audio. The thermal camera picked up a couple of things. The recording of the thermal camera is really hit or miss because the controls on it were bad. We went up there and we had some trail cams that I had just gotten that day. So I wasn't able to play with them to figure out how to work them. But they should have night vision, which will be a huge help next time we go back. But when we went up, we had one FLIR that had no real recording capabilities, our phones, and some headlamps, the EVP, the electronic voice recorder, and the spirit box, along with a couple of those electromagnetic field, like the EMF detectors. Yeah.
So, Chris and Elle, particularly, because you're sensitive, what is your intuition about what it was that was following you? If it wasn't a big cat, then what was it?
Yeah. What do you think happened to you that night?
In my opinion, I thought it could have been a spirit and or something there that was trying to that was curious and far enough away that our equipment wasn't acting up as much, but close enough that we felt it.
Honestly, I am not 100% sure one way or the other. It doesn't seem to me like it was an animal, if it was anything, beyond us freaking the heck out of each other, especially seeing as we were all hanging out with Cameron
Yep.
and he's freaky.
Can confirm.
Uh, but if it was something and we do go back, I would like to find evidence. So,
I can say I definitely hit my goal.
Which was what?
You hit your goal?
I hit my goal to have him slightly believe in
I
stuff.
was okay. I was just gonna ask.
Oh, I forgot about
what
that.
did you walk away thinking happened, Brent?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, because it's definitely not something I'm used to. Like I go out into the wilds of Arizona all the time, and I've never had an experience like this. Like with us being followed, all of my hunting instincts went out the window. I didn't hear any rustling, no flushing from the bushes, nothing. There's nothing there to give a telltale sign of an animal. I can't tell you what it was, but it's definitely opened up my eyes. I don't know if I'm a full believer just yet, but yeah, definitely closer in the right direction.
I have one other question. Okay, so this thing that was following you, you guys have determined it wasn't a mountain lion, probably wasn't a skinwalker. Did you feel like there was any sort of size to it? Did you feel it was paranormal? Did you not get a sense of that? What are your thoughts?
I have an opinion on this. Chris was the first one to hear it, but I got the impression that it was bigger. I definitely got the impression that it was bigger because of how it was able to keep up with us and the fact that it was keeping up with us and the sounds that I was hearing. I wasn't able to hear any bushes rustling or anything like that, but that only adds to the fact that it was probably bigger. Because if it was smaller, it'd be going through the bushes. I feel like this was bigger and that it was able to go around and keep up with us at that pace. And it
so
kept the same distance.
So on the flip side to that, I actually feel the opposite. At first I felt like it was bigger, like a mountain lion or something, but then now I feel that it may be something paranormal. I feel like because it wasn't making any noises in the bushes or any noises on rocks or making anything shift or move or like any real noise at all in that respect, that it probably wasn't something bigger, probably something like more small or maybe not even like maybe something more formless, um or something that doesn't something that doesn't even have a form at all, you know.
Al, did you what was your thoughts on sizing of it?
I don't actually really know. Like I didn't I couldn't tell as much. Like it was ranging for me, I guess. But I'm not 100% sure if it was a big thing or a small thing. I feel like at least it was bigger than small. So it could have been medium or large on the type of thing. Because I don't feel like from what I was feeling, it was definitely something bigger than it should usually, but not too big, you know?
Okay. Just kind of what I'm going for is I've done quite a bit of research on the mini Apache people that are rumored to be in the Superstition Mountains. They're very quiet. You wouldn't be able to necessarily hear them rustling around in bushes because they know how to quietly move through the land. But if they were making other noises or doing other things, you might have been hearing that. I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm just trying to, with what I've researched and what I've known of these little Apaches, it's very interesting. There's a lot of people that try to equate them to the Black Hand. Like if you see a black hand on a rock, that's a bad omen. That means you're going to die.
Oh.
And it's rumored that these little Apaches are the ones that make these marks and then kill you. Potentially. There are people that have seen the Black Hand and gotten away from that, but I believe that's also like deeper into the Superstition Mountains, like back behind the actual mountain itself by like Weaver's Needle and back in some of those areas where people try to search for the gold mines.
Which is where I wanted to go. But that is way too far.
No, I'd shit my pants.
Keeping it real.
You know, if there's a risk I'm dying, hell no, I'm walking away as soon as possible.
That's a good survival instinct.
Smart girl.
I'm too young to die.
Exactly.
Extra brave.
That's funny.
All right.
What other quick question, Chris, with your talisman, was there anything that, like, do any of your talisman like pick up anything or tell you anything, or are they just strictly protection?
Well, the talismans that I had on me were warning, so they were strictly protection for that evening.
Okay.
I keep this with me. This ring that I found while I was doing my paranormal research in Flagstaff, and it actually got dislodged and fell from my backpack.
What does that mean to you?
Okay.
Something was near. And that was right when we were on our return trip from hanging out at that rock.
So that's a silver-looking ring with, is that knotwork on it? What is on that? Yeah, it's like a Celtic knotwork, which is a protective symbol in more than one culture, that kind of knotwork.
So whatever was around you was like, you get out of here, you protection. I need to get him. Yes?
Cameron.
Well, I think it's more of a warning that something was interacting with it
Cameron,
at all.
You have no sense of humor. At least when it comes to me and my stupid jokes.
JT was picking up what you were putting down.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my friend does like witch stuff. Like they usually do stuff for like protection and stuff. And that night he had done a small protection spell on me. So I would think that would be fun to mention. I asked him, that's why I was so quiet. And I asked if I could mention it. But yeah, he did a slight protection spell on me that night as well. So
he kind of knew from the get that you might need a little extra.
he actually has talked to ghosts before. So he knows how ghosts are, and he is also very protective. He's like super cautious about stuff like that, and I've never really encountered them. So he was worried and put that on me just in case, especially being out in the wild.
That's a good way to be.
Yeah.
And we never did say,
cool.
We'll figure it out, I guess, when we actually are going to go back up there. We were saying October 31st.
Oh my God, why in October?
I would love to say yes, but I may have a prior engagement, but we'll see.
What could be more important than dying that night?
Of course,
I
right?
know. It's the last thing you'll ever do in your life.
Right.
Let's just not go in October. You know what? Just not in October, you know?
Not October, guys.
It looks like it will be like a half moon maybe, or maybe even a new moon if you go on the 31st, so it won't be very much light.
New moon. Oh, that's perfect, guys. So there's going to be no moonlight.
No.
I don't want to go on the 31st.
No.
Come on, guys. We got the whistle and everything. It's perfect.
No.
And it's the perfect time of year.
Oh no, you're
Beginning of the
tripping.
veil. It'll be perfect. I think you
No.
should go.
Absolutely not. No.
I ain't going.
If the rest of you don't go, it's just gonna be me and Cameron, and then it's gonna be awkward.
Cameron's another father
put
figure.
so many protective wardings on him. Yes, protective.
I know. I don't believe you for a second. All right. Well,
I just opened my own micro bakery, Killer Bakery. You can check it out at killerbakery.com.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We sell cakes, cupcakes, cookies. We are officially open on October 1st, but right now you can check out the merchandise and place an order. We are I only have one truck, so we're only able to service Fountain Hills, Scottsdale, and Rio Verde area right now.
Okay. Do you hear that, North Scottsdale?
That's good.
Rio?
Healthy
all
start,
you people?
yeah.
That's great. Fort McDowell, perhaps? That's in the area. All right. Well, cool.
Wow. Thanks, guys.
This was
Wow,
fun.
what a story.
Actually,
yeah.
I really enjoyed
That's a good
this.
story.
It was so good to talk to you guys. Elle, nice to meet you.
Yes.
You sound like fun.
Oh, yes, I'm lots of fun. You should, when the recordings come out, you're going to see how fun it is.
Cool, guys. Hey, good.
Yeah. Okay.
This is good stuff. Yeah.
All right.
That's
So,
huge.
Yeah.
thank you,
I think it was
Brent,
good.
Elle,
Forward to hearing
and
part
Chris.
two.
Yeah, we're so excited that you could be here and super excited about part 2. This has been another episode of
The
Wandering
Crow.
I'm so confused.
And we did it correctly.
Yeah,
It was much better than usual.
that was it. Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye.